Sky. Heroes come in all colors.
Yeah, but we're talking about the black ones today. Sup, you guys? ASD Classified here. So, at the time of this recording, it is still Black History Month. So, to celebrate that, I wanted to celebrate the black heroes in Power Rangers. And I mean black by skin color, baby, not Ranger color. Now, we're already halfway through Black History Month at this point, and I'm not even sure if I'll have this video out by the end of February, but you know what? We can celebrate Black history all year long, so this video will be out when it's out. So in this video, to celebrate the black heroes in Power Rangers, I wanted to recommend the best focus episodes for each black Power Ranger. Now, to clarify, for each black hero, I'm going to be recommending one focus episode for them. Their best focus episode. If I were recommending every focus episode of them that I like, we'd be here all day. So, just one focus episode for one black hero. Their best focus episode. Let's get into it. First up is Zack the Zack Man Taylor. His best focus episode would be Season 1's An Oyster Stew, an episode about black love, baby. In this episode, Zack was doing any and everything he could to get into Angela's pants. I don't blame him though. Angela was sometimes dressing like she went to Euphoria High School. No wonder he was acting like a fool. Zack wanted to impress Angela so much that he bought a pair of earrings from a random man in the park that was giving off a ton of red flags. Turns out the earrings were cursed, and when Angela put them on, bad 90s special effects consumed her body. But yeah, this is a great focus episode for Zack. He ends up getting the girl at the end. He's one of the only Rangers to kiss somebody on the lips. And he wore the Green Ranger's dragon shield in this episode and had a fight with the monster. I love it, man. Him and that shield is an iconic image. Next up is Aisha Campbell, my favorite black ninja ranger. So her best focus episode would be Stop the Hate Master. In this episode, Aisha faces classism and has to get a pep talk about bigotry from her big mama. Meanwhile, the evil Hate Master puts the other Power Rangers under a spell to make them hate each other, and Aisha and her braids have to save the day. I love this episode, man. Well, this two-parter, like, I love it. It's a great Aisha focus, and we see her save the day and come up with plans to help the other Rangers. It's brilliant, and it makes me mad that Aisha didn't get more focus, man. But this is a two-parter, so at least that kind of makes up for it. Kind of. After Aisha was Sestro of Aquatar, the Blue Equestrian Ranger. Unfortunately, Sestro doesn't really have a focus episode. The closest one is What Are You Thinking from Mighty Morphin Alien Rangers. So in this episode, Sestro is dehydrated and about to die, and he needs to find a source of pure water to rehydrate himself. Unfortunately, he's on a planet where that is in short supply. Sestro in this episode uses his Aquaman powers to communicate with some fish and asks them where a source of pure water is. He goes to that source. He fights the Wicked Witch of the West. Literally, I'm not even exaggerating.
Oh, is something wrong with your Tin Man?
Sestro gets his ass whooped, and then the other Rangers save him and save the day. Is not the best showing of Sestro, and that's, like I said, the only real focus episode he got, when really it's a Rocky focus episode, but whatever. Because Sestro doesn't really have a focus episode, if you want to see more of him at his best, I recommend that you watch the episode Graduation Blues from Power Rangers Zeo, where he shows up on Earth and tries to recruit Billy to help him with some war that's happening on his planet. And you can also watch the Team Up Rangers of Two Worlds, where Sestro shows up to try to de-age Billy, who's now an old man and about to age into a skeleton. And Sestro has a fight where he doesn't get his ass whooped, so there's that. After Sestro is Tanya Salone, the Zeo and Turbo Yellow Ranger, and her best focus episode would be Rangers in the Outfield. In this episode, Tanya finds out she has a natural talent for playing baseball, and she joins the baseball team. Well, that should be good, right? Her boyfriend is the captain of the baseball team. What could go wrong? Well, her boyfriend is a hating ass bitch. That's what goes wrong. Her boyfriend, Sean, really hates that Tanya's on the team, hates that she struck him out, and he makes a whole bunch of negative comments to try to make Tanya feel bad. And at the end of the day, at the end of the episode, she stood up for herself, told him off, and dumped his ass. It is a beautiful scene, and it's a scene that a lot of girls, especially black girls, need to see, that yes, you stand up for yourself and you don't let nobody talk down to you, baby.
If you cannot support me, then I don't think there's anything else we need to discuss. Period.
Plus, it paves the way for Adam and Tanya to get together and have the beautiful Blasian babies that I know they have. Next up is TJ, Theodore J. Jarvis Johnson. Because he was the Red Turbo Ranger and the Blue and Space Ranger, I'm going to recommend 2 episodes for each color. The first episode I'll recommend is The Curveball from Power Rangers Turbo, where it shows off TJ's baseball skills and he fights against a baseball monster, and it's just hilarious. Plus, there's this new kid that was like a rival a little bit in the episode, and he ends up saving that boy's life, and it's one of my favorite scenes from TJ once he saved the boy's life, and the boy was like, hey, thanks, I owe you one. And TJ was like, you don't owe me a thing. That's a Power Ranger right there, baby.
Thanks. I owe you.
You don't owe me a thing.
The second focus episode I recommend is Power Rangers in Space's 5 of a Kind. In this episode, it shows off TJ's smarts and coming up with plans to deal with the Psycho Rangers, and they destroy Psycho Blue in that episode because of TJ. Love it. After TJ was Damon Henderson, the Green Lost Galaxy Ranger, a very underrated Ranger, and his best focus episode was Green Courage. In the episode, the villain's spaceship was falling apart, so they go to Terra Venture and kidnap High Counselor Rainier, and then force Terra Venture to send a mechanic to their ship to repair it, or they'll kill the High Counselor. Damon, being a mechanic and feeling guilty that he couldn't save the High Counselor before she was kidnapped, volunteers for the dangerous mission. It is one of the best episodes of Lost Galaxy, and Damon really shines in it, so watch it. So next up is Joel Rawlings, the Green Ranger of Lightspeed Rescue, and his best focus episode would be Mighty Mega Battles. In the episode, Joel thinks that his love interest, Miss Fairweather, has fallen for another guy. And in the episode, he kind of has to learn to get over her, and he also has a kick-ass battle, and he gets a new power-up, the Mighty Mega Battle. That scene where he saved his rival's life and Miss Fairweather was crying over the rival, and you see that Joel had his cowboy hat down so you couldn't see him cry and stuff, and letting Miss Fairweather go, like, oh my god, it's a beautiful scene. And then seeing him run to that monster and morph to take out his rage on that monster, you punching the crap out of that monster. Oh, this is a good episode. People also consider the Mega Battles to be battleizers, so you could say that Joel is the first black person to get a battleizer. After Joel is Katie Walker, the Time Force Yellow Ranger, and her best focus episode would be Future Unknown. In this episode, Katie and her team come to the realization that because they have traveled back in time and keep messing up stuff in the past, that this may have crazy effects on the future. Well, their present. And it might change things, and they don't want things to be changed, especially Katie. Katie is so worried that what they're doing in the past might change stuff so much that her family might not even exist anymore, or they might be very different than what she's used to. And it affects her so much that she doesn't even want to do Ranger crap anymore. And honestly, I don't blame her too much. I mean, you have to remember that Katie was never officially chosen to be a Ranger. She was a cop that got fired in the premiere, and then she got roped into time traveling shenanigans because Jen wanted revenge. Katie never planned to travel back in time and stay there for months on end. But eventually, my girl got her head back in the game. She realized that the mission is important, and she has more reason than anybody to fight, so she keeps going. I love Katie, man. She should have got more focus, damn it. After Katie was Max Cooper, the Blue Wild Force Ranger, and his best focus episode is the Tornado Spin. So in this episode, we learn a little bit more about Max. He used to be a bowling prodigy, and he fights a bowling ball monster because Power Rangers. It's a pretty entertaining episode, and we also get a flashback of when Max became a Power Ranger, so that's pretty cool. After Max is Ethan James, the Blue Dino Thunder Ranger, and one of my favorite Rangers of all time. His best focus episode is Teutonhawken's Curse. His other focus episode, Bully for Ethan, is cool, but I can't recommend that episode for this video. They really tried to play in my boy's face and pretend that Ethan couldn't beat up a normal human bully without his Ranger powers. Please. But Teutonhawken's Curse is really good. In the episode, Ethan gets cursed by an ancient pharaoh's curse, and the pharaoh comes back to life, and they have to fight him and kill him to break the curse. It's really good. It has some of the best action in that season. In the episode, Ethan gets a new motorcycle, and he takes down a general and the monster of the day. That's a Power Ranger right there, baby. After Ethan was Jack Landers, the B Squad Red Ranger of SPD, and his best focus episode is Confronted. Now, Jack is a bit of an interesting character. He can be a bit of a dick at times, but I still like him. So in Confronted, Jack learns the full privileges of being a Red Ranger in the SPD organization. So as the Red Ranger, he has the power to order the Rangers and all the cadets around, and they have to obey his orders.
When the Red Ranger gives a command, that command shall be unquestioned and obeyed by all other Rangers.
This power, of course, goes to Jack's head, and he orders everybody in SPD pretty much to do his bidding. Now, it is Black History Month at the time of this recording, so if you're gonna watch an episode celebrating Black heroes, why not watch the one where we have a black man in charge?
I'm Red Ranger, and that's an order.
Look, Jack eventually learns his lesson, but it was fun watching everybody have to obey him, except the big dog. After Jack is Will Aston, the Black Ranger in Power Rangers Operation Overdrive, and his best focus episode would be Both Sides Now. In this episode, Will seemingly turns evil, and he joins up with the evil villain Miratrix, and works with her and even fights his fellow former teammates and beats their asses. Will also gets Miratrix to kind of fall for him, which is crazy considering that Miratrix dated the Blue Ranger Dax on that team for an episode. And now she's gonna be dating Will, going against the bro code.
You don't just hook up with a friend's ex. Mala.
It turns out that Will was just pretending to be evil so that they could get information from the villains, but still, that is a really good episode, especially for Overdrive, and it's a good Will focus. Next up is Scott Truman, the Red Ranger in Power Rangers RPM, and his best focus episode would be, of course, Ranger Red. Listen to me, listen. If you only watch one episode that I recommend in this video, it should be Ranger Red. It is the best written episode on this list, okay? It is that freaking good. Of course it is. It's from RPM. In the episode, we learn a little bit about Scott's life in the past, pre the apocalypse, and we learn more about his relationship with his dad, more about his brother, what happened to his brother. You know, it is a really, really good episode, man. Watch it. I tend to ignore the beginning of the episode where he used a baby to fight off grinders and no doubt gave that baby brain damage. I tend to ignore that because everything else is really good. It's just that beginning moment questionable. After Scott was Kevin from Power Rangers Samurai. His best focus episode would be A Sticky Situation. Now look, Kevin is lame, but he's the least lame in this episode, okay? And that's probably because he shares the focus with my favorite character in Samurai, Mikey. But whatever, it's still a good episode for Kevin. And Mikey sings Kevin's praises a lot because he's smart and skilled. So, you know, Black history, there you go. After Kevin was Noah Carver, the Blue Megaforce Ranger, and his best focus episode was Going Viral. I like seeing Noah and Jake's friendship in this episode, and it also explores an insecurity that Noah has, and he overcomes the insecurity and realizes that he has what it takes to be a good hero and a good ranger. It also explains what to do when a virus is spreading. A lot of you need to watch it.
Quarantine! You gotta quarantine it! The first step to stopping a virus is to keep it from spreading to more victims!
Did you guys hear that?
After Noah is Shelby Watkins, the Pink Ranger in Dino Charge, the first Black Pink Ranger. Her best focus episode to me would be Nightmare on Amber Beach. It really explores her character a lot, you know, what she wants to do with her life. Does she want to follow her dreams or follow her daddy's dreams? Her daddy makes an appearance and he's the same daddy as Scott Truman, just playing a different character. I love this episode, man. My girl holds Heckle at gunpoint and saves the day. Amazing. After Shelby is Haley Foster, the White Ranger in Power Rangers Ninja Steel, and her best focus episode is Monkey Business. You have an episode called Monkey Business, and you make the Black character the focus of it. I can't keep defending you, Power Rangers. I can't.
Don't be racist.
JK, guys. JK. Now, Monkey Business is actually a pretty fun episode. It's one of the better episodes of Power Rangers Ninja Steel. I almost was going to recommend her other Focus episode, My Friend Redbot, because she has more action scenes in that episode, but that episode is also crap. So I'm going to recommend Monkey Business to you. In the episode, Haley and her boyfriend are running against each other for class president, and hilarity ensues. Like, I really love this little rivalry that comes out between the two of them, and unlike the similar episode in season 2 of Power Rangers, they're not under a spell. They are being this petty towards each other on their own. No magical influence. I love it. And also, Haley does save the day in this episode a little bit. She gets the Rangers' morphers back when they were taken by the monster, and she calls her little dog Zord, and it does a little howl thing to save the day. I love it. After Haley is Commander Devin Daniels, he is the Red Ranger of Power Rangers Beast Morphers, and his best Focus episode would be Taking Care of Business. Taking Care of Business is also one of the best episodes of Beast Morphers, so you should definitely watch it. And in the episode, it's a Devin focus, and he has to juggle being a Power Ranger with meeting the expectations of his mayor father, and it does not go well for him, but it's a very fun watch. Moving on to Power Rangers Dino Fury, where we have 2 Black Rangers on the team for the first time ever. So we have Zato and Aiyon from the planet Ravcon, Zato being the Red Ranger, Aiyon being the Gold Ranger. And you're getting a 2-for-1 in this episode because their best Focus episode is episode 16, Ancient History. In this episode, we learn the identity of the Gold Ranger, we learn the backstory between Aiyon and Zato, we learn how the war started 65 million years ago with the Spore Eggs. Like, it's a good backstory, story-driven episode, and it's good character focus for Red and Gold. Alright, that's the end of my list, so if you want to celebrate the Black heroes in Power Rangers, go watch all those episodes at a bare minimum. If you like this video, like it, and if you're not subscribed already, go ahead and do that. Also, leave me a comment and let me know what's your favorite Focus episodes of these Black heroes. Alright, later guys. Jamata.